Hi Gemini, welcome to 8 of Cups Tarot. Welcome to your cards for November. And I'm really excited to tell you that November is going to start to feel a little bit better. As far as 2020 goes anyways. Not to say everything's going to like snap back into place and we're going to go back to normal, because again, there's no normal anymore. Like, we're way too far gone for that. We have all changed at such an intense level that when you hear people say this is the new normal, this is the new normal. But I think that mid-November and on, we start to get a lot more support from the planets, right? Things start to break up. There's not this denseness as Mars breaks free from its retrograde. It's still moving slowly, meaning the ego's been a little injured, and that's where we should be. That's where the universe wants us to be. A little bit vulnerable, a little bit dreamy, no choice but to have faith in our future. And for you, this is an 8th house transit that's culminating, right? All of that Capricorn stuff in your 8th house, Saturn, Pluto, we move into the beginning of November, and we're kind of in this place of the final Jupiter-Pluto conjunction, and we're getting ready for Saturn and Jupiter to kind of make their way out of that 8th house into the 9th house. 8th house, I always like to explain, is kind of the deep dive, and then the 9th house is the new beliefs. So we kind of have to get down into our shadow self, and we have to get really honest with who we are, what we want, what matters in our lives. Now, the thing is, on October 31st, there's a really intense full moon conjunct Uranus in Taurus. This is a 12th house transit for you, so you are doing the ultimate psychological work in the month of November. And following up to that is an eclipse at the end of November in your sign. So if you're here for a Gemini ascendant or an eclipse on your sun, we are in for drastic change, Gemini, and it's kind of momentum that's there's no stopping it. So let's jump into these cards because they're quite reflective of that energy. Now, you are coming out this month as a King of Air. Now, that's your element. You're an air sign. So it's telling me that you are using your wisdom and your logic to kind of make some decisions in life. And I feel like the King of Air energy represents the fact that you are able to kind of emotionally detach. Emotionally detached, not in such a cold Saturnian way. I actually feel like this is more towards yourself. It's like having a softening in order for you to be honest with yourself and to see things for what they truly are and to see the bigger picture in things. King of Air energy is somebody who's looking towards the future, considering like what they really want. And there could be a very spiritual element to the King of Air as well, meaning a renewed sense of faith, a renewed sense of hope. And it also represents mastery, and that comes up a few times in your cards as well. So I think Geminis are starting to put the pieces together. I think they're starting to understand everything that they've experienced, starting to recognize their patterns in that 12th house transit, starting to see maybe some of the ways in which you sabotage yourself or you hold yourself back, and starting to set new goals. Now, goals are really important for the King of Air. It gives you something to aim at. It gives you a logical point of view. And the King of Air is all about decisions, and you might be in an element of having to make a lot of decisions, having to weave your way through some obstacles, especially in the beginning of November. Now, this side of the board feels a little bit heavier than this side, and I'm assuming these are things that you have recently gone through, or probably some stuff that will come up in culmination for you with that Uranus full moon. And I think this is all about where you're kind of getting dragged along by the universe. Overall energy, 3 of Swords, 8 of Cups, Nine of Cups, and the 10 of Wands. Okay, so all this energy over here might be, Gemini, a lot about facing the hurt, facing the heartbreak, facing the disappointments, facing the loss, and having to face it and having to really experience it and allow yourself to feel it so that you can have that emotional journey. 8 of Cups. I'm picking up on a feeling of real acceptance of how things went down, why you had to leave certain situations. 9 of Cups is all about wish fulfillment and joy and happiness. And I think this 9 of Cups is about you starting to really figure out what makes you happy. The 3 of Wands feels like it's weighted down in burden and sacrifice. And I could almost feel how badly the freedom wants to come through here. The 10 of Wands, the 9 of Cups, meaning you've seen it, you've tasted it, you know what this happiness could be like. And so now you kind of have to go through this journey so that you can get there. 10 of Wands is an indication that you are there. You are closer than you think. Your first 2 cards out, the 2 of Swords and the 2 of Pentacles. And it's funny because there's such a crazy duality, which is not unusual for Gemini here, between the Swords and the Pentacles, because the Swords is kind of like, you know, I mentioned with the King of Air is that emotional detachment, but it's very guarded. It's like feeling like you can't let people in. You can't say the things you really want to say. You can't be the person that you truly are. And the 2 of Pentacles is like you juggling, holding on to 2 different identities almost. You know, and the 2 of Wands is Capricorn energy. It's kind of digging your heels in. You know, it could be a little bit stubborn. It could be a little bit materialistic. I think Gemini is kind of meeting that other twin this month and deciding, you know, ultimately who's going to win. And there's something about the duality between the Swords and the Pentacles, meaning the Swords always remind me of this need for freedom. And the Pentacles reminds me of a need to lay down roots. Gemini, maybe there's something that you fear about laying down roots, establishing something. There seems to be an energy of just not allowing yourself to fully experience the things you want to experience because there are so many responsibilities, because there are so many people depending on you. Clarifying these cards, we pulled the Ace of Swords and the Star. Gemini, this is all about who you really are. Like as a person, your authentic self. Not the person you are when you're at work, not the person you are when you're out with friends. Like the person you are when you're home alone, the thoughts that you have when you're by yourself. Maybe Gemini's been trying to put themselves in somebody else's box. Maybe Gemini has been trying to fit a certain persona, which becomes exhausting. And the Star card is always an element of destiny, of being led down a different path. See the Star card here, I know I've done this in a couple of signs, and I apologize if I'm repeating myself, but she's holding on to this cord, to this light which I assume is illumination, it's happiness, it's joy, and it seems to be out of your reach, Gemini. Yet you know it's there. It's within your reach if you're willing to grasp it. Kind of like she's going to pull that light down and finally be in her own warmth, in her own comfort, in her own peace. You know, this is about feeling good about who you are. This is about feeling comfortable in your own skin. If this is in regards to a partnership in any way, this is about revealing the truth. That this feels like destiny, that this feels like hope. Now, if it isn't in a relationship, I think that is what Gemini is being pulled for. I think that's what you're being pulled towards. I think that's why things are being, maybe even feeling like they're being ripped away from you. Maybe Gemini feels like they've had a bout of bad luck, when in all reality, the universe is working in its divine way to bring you exactly what you want, and you don't even realize how happy it will make you. We get really comfortable, right, in our own obstacles, our own misery. Like, we're just, as humans, known to kind of stick in one place, and just because it's familiar. And even if it's disappointing over and over again, we still choose to stay, because at least it's better than the unknown. And I think the Star card is Gemini realizing that the unknown is actually better. 8th house, 12th house transit. A lot of my signs, I've been explaining that now we're going to start doing things differently. And Gemini, now you're going to start being who you truly are. And it's going to feel vulnerable, and you're going to feel exposed, and you're going to feel uneasy about it. But this brings you 3 aces. Ace of Swords, Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Wands. All new things. All new opportunities. Something that you are truly passionate about. Something that you feel like you are being intuitively kind of guided towards. Whether it's a relationship, person, a job, creative thing, having a child. See, Gemini is just getting all new desires in their head right now, things that they've never actually taken the time to think about. Maybe opportunities they never thought they'd have. And here we are again, that duality between freedom, Ace of Swords, and Ace of Pentacles. laying down those roots, planting those seeds, starting those things that are going to be around for a really long time. Along with the Ace of Wands, what more could you possibly want? Maybe Gemini is just not willing to settle for any less. Maybe that Star card is this healing moment where Gemini is like, wait a second, I am worth more. I want more. I desire more. I want passion. I want creativity. I want to be able to express myself in my relationships, in my work. I want to be able to be who I am, to say what I'm thinking, to not have to hide. I want relationships where there's true communication and I could be myself and I could say the things and not be afraid of being judged. And is it so bad to want something dependable? Is it so bad to know what you're going to wake up to every day, or where you're going to lay your head down at night? I mean, there could be freedom in those situations as well. There's a freedom of worry. And I think this Ace of Pentacles for Gemini is just about peace. I don't think even the Ace of Pentacles has to be all that big. Just enough to bring them peace. Just enough so they can follow their heart. The Oracle card clarifying this is card number 18, breaking down to a 9, a new gown. See, I think you're coming close to the end of a cycle. We're all coming really close to the end of the cycle, right? This big, huge karmic cycle that we've been closing out. There's a lot of ancestral stuff here. I mean, we're like doing the work of the past several generations, all in this quickening time frame. You know, and if you're somebody who studies or understands, you know, jumping timelines, you know, things are going to start to happen so swiftly. Manifestation is going to become so important because we're all kind of recreating our monies. We're recreating how we handle money. We're recreating how we work. We're recreating how we live. Eventually we'll be recreating how we eat, how we get our food. All of these things are changing, and so we are changing, and this card is indicative of you being able to take that old cloak off, maybe the one that's tattered and bruised and broken, maybe the one that doesn't fit so comfortably anymore, that personality or that job or that thing that you were a part of. And suddenly you wake up one day and you're like, I can't do this anymore. I'm just not this person. But we could spend a lot of time in that I can't do this anymore, yet we keep doing it. We keep doing it and doing it and doing it regardless of how miserable we are. We keep doing these patterns. We keep doing these things. The universe says it's time to take off the damn cloak and put on a new one. And step into something that really fits you. Step into something that really shows who you are. It really represents this new person. It represents the scars and the healing. See, the King of Air is all about wisdom. And so, Gemini, you get to step out of these transits and go, yeah, well, you want to know what I learned? Do you want to know what I was willing to give up? Do you want to know what I realized I was worth? Eight of Pentacles with the Tower. Like I was saying, You wake up every day and you just do that thing over and over and over again, and you're so used to doing it that you don't even realize that you don't even know what life is anymore. It just seems to be this series of routine, and there's no time to truly enjoy. There's no time to invest and connect with others. And you know you're not happy, yet you keep doing it. And so the universe sends a tower. The universe says you were never going to move, so I moved for you. And there's always an element of a leap of faith with the tower, right? On the traditional Ruygt, there are people jumping out of the tower. And I kind of feel like that's the universe or you or your subconscious behavior, Uranus transit in your 12th house. This inner rebellion. Something comes over, or the universe takes over and says, you just can't do this anymore. Your soul has kind of been yelling at you for so long that you're not happy. And the universe wants so much more for you. Eight of Pentacles, Six of Cups, more with this duality. Eight of Pentacles is really like, just go to work, just get it done every day. Keep the routine, keep the schedule, check the emails, fall in bed in exhaustion, wake up and do it all over again. And the Six of Cups is remembering what it's like to just really love life. Like, not be so obsessed with work that you can kind of go outside and breathe in the fresh air and enjoy the clouds in the sky and kind of get lost in the softer parts of life. Maybe there's parts of your life that you've been so disconnected from because of all of the work. Even if the work is a bad relationship, it's still something that feels like work to you. And I think Gemini wants something that feels more like how things felt when they were a kid. You know, that's the Six of Cups energy. It's not passionate, it's not intense, it's not sexual, it's love. It's unconditional love. The love you would have for a child, for a sibling, for a soulmate. And I think Gemini is hungry for a different side of life now. And I think some Geminis might even be questioning what it was even all about. What did I get out of it? Six of Cups, Four of Swords, if we're talking about love here and not a job, and it could very well be both, judging by these cards. But the Six of Cups is something from the past coming back. Four of Wands, something you had taken a break from. There was some sort of separation. Or this Tower card came and caused a major separation in your job. And this Four of Wands, this card of rest, of solitude, of going within, this is when Gemini gets to know themselves. And this is when Gemini taps into that Six of Cups energy. Now this could be really productive. If you're recreating your career, Gemini, if you're doing something like that, this is actually super productive. Like any time that you are spending just kind of laying around or dreaming, you have Uranus in the 12th, like things can come to you in dreams. Answers, ideas, breakthroughs kind of come in, they seep in subconsciously. So certainly meditating, any kind of therapy of any sort would be so good right now for your soul journey, for healing, for progression in your life. And I think the universe is just really inviting you to rest for a minute, to take a break, to stop spinning the wheels so hard, to stop needing to know the outcome. You know, when you were a kid, you weren't worried about, well, hopefully not, you know, you weren't worried about how you were going to make the house payment or how you're going to put gas in the car, who was going to do the grocery shopping. These things just happened. Like you just woke up and a bus came and took you to school, and then you came home and there was dinner on the table, and these things just happened. There was simply no worrying about it. I think the universe wants to give you an opportunity to not have to worry about the things for a minute and instead get to know yourself. Now the second half of the board. You have the Six of Pentacles, and again the Eight of Cups. I mean, this very well could have been dissolving of several different things in your life. Like you might be in a phase where relationships have broken up, friendships have broken up, jobs have been lost or, you know, left. But both sides, there's an element of moving on, but there's an element of moving on for a spiritual ascension, because there's growth and wisdom gained from this experience. And the Six of Pentacles can indicate that there were lessons here to learn in reciprocity. Reciprocity is kind of a funny game when you look at it spiritually. You know, if you take the finances or the pros and cons lists and all the logic stuff out of it, the Six of Pentacles is so easy. Because it's about, what do you give and take in your life? What do you give to the most? What do you invest in the most? And does that thing give back? Now, you could say, yeah, I poured my heart and soul into this career for 25 years, and I did. I got a paycheck, I got a pension, I got a 401k. Okay. The Six of Pentacles and the Eight of Cups means, did it give back? Did it give back to your soul? Did it give you real happiness? Did it give you emotional fulfillment? Were you proud of it? Did it feel like it was your destiny and purpose in life? Or did you just get a paycheck? Same thing if you're in a relationship. Maybe you invested and had so much faith in somebody. But you can't force them to give back. You can't force other people to cooperate. And the Eight of Cups is when you accept the loss. The Eight of Cups is when you say, okay, I just simply have to go. I just have to go on my way. I have to do this thing, and it would have been really lovely if you came, but it's okay if you can't. And I think this is just about you deciding what really gives back to you at this time. Now the challenge card is the Three of Cups. This won't be for everybody, and please don't take it the wrong way and don't jump to assumptions if this doesn't resonate with you. Please don't start accusing a partner of a three-party situation. And it doesn't necessarily have to be three-party situation, as in cheating. There's all different ways that energy can occur. But when I see a Three of Cups with a Six of Pentacles can be one person giving to two different people. Same as a Three of Cups. You might have to be a little bit honest about some mistakes that you made. Work, love, friendships. For some of you, it might be a time to really have to look at how you invested in relationships, maybe what you could have done better, maybe where you didn't give back. Because a Three of Cups is kind of a self-indulgent energy. But I do also want to point out that we have Venus moving through Libra in November in your 5th house. And this could always, I always love when Venus goes through my 5th house because it's kind of like a full month of just having fun. Suddenly the focus isn't about work, and I find myself doing more stuff with my kids, or just having time to play more or spend time with friends, go on dates, fun stuff, 5th house stuff. And it's just not an energy where you really want to work a lot anyways. But you want to be careful with the Three of Cups that you're not overindulging. You want to be careful, especially Neptune, the way that Neptune is this month, and also Neptune moving direct in your 10th house. You want to be careful of substance abuse. You want to be careful of overindulgence. Because really, if you're drinking or doing drugs or anything like that, and really any kind of obsessive, overindulgent behavior, it leads to lower vibration. Because ultimately, you do that thing, it feels good, and then you get home and look at the credit card statement, or you get home and you wake up the next morning and you feel like shit, and you're like, wow, you just get in that cycle of then judging yourself. And that's what lowers your vibration, and you begin to feel hopeless and helpless and nothing's ever going to change. And this is where all that self-sabotage stuff comes in. Just be wary of that this month. You're in a 12th house transit. This can be so magical if you look at things from a spiritual perspective. If maybe you take time to learn more spiritual practices, if you take time to do those meditations, maybe go to one of those salt spas or something, just kind of give yourself a chance to get in tune with yourself. Give your guides a chance to get into tune with you, to converse with you. And so anything that can kind of take down your vibration and lock that out is really a disservice to you. Now this card is clarified by card number 7, Go to the Sea. And I really want to read this card for you. Looks back here. Okay. Isn't it wonderful when you feel yourself in the flow of life, when events and conditions seem to engage you in a way that is fluid and effortless? This card reminds you that going with the flow is exactly what you need to do right now. Ride the wave of opportunity formed by perfect conditions. Allow trust and faith to guide you forward as you flow like a river into the sea of life. There are points in a relationship when you have to decide to go with the flow rather than dictate the course you share with another. Can you let go of the need to have things your way and allow a relationship itself, your combined goals and desires, to steer the ship? Can you both transcend your personalities and allow the partnership to form its own identity, its own energy? Now is the time to relax and see where the mutual journey leads. I'm picking up on this energy of a fear of commitment because of a loss of freedom and being really in your head over it. And this indicates that there's a different perspective here. Again, this may not be for all of you. There's so much going on in this reading. But you are under an 8th house transit, and that is learning how to be intimate and share and trust in others. So you may be experiencing some of those energies, especially this month, as we kind of have that final action in that 8th house before things start to move on. Thank God. But there's probably an element of cleanup of how you look at those things. You know, maybe you're with somebody that you really love, and yet the thought of like cohabitating scares the shit out of you. Well, maybe if you open up and have these conversations, maybe there could be alternatives. Maybe there could be compromises. And that 2 of Swords and the King of Air is indicating that you are capable of the compromises and that it is worth your while. Now, next to the 3 of Cups, you got the 10 of Pentacles, which tells me that right now the universe wants you to start looking at the bigger picture. Start looking at what you truly want, what is success to you, what is stability, dependability, what do these things truly mean? And I'm getting a lot about your morals, your values, you know, if you're looking for a job or a new career, make sure that it fits your values. Make sure it puts you in an element with people that are like-minded and where you could be yourself. And someplace that allows for growth. Gemini, there's no question that you are destined for a lot of success. And I think when these transits are over, December, January, February, and most of 2021 is going to feel like a lot of breakthroughs. You've got the North Node in your sign. Things are going to change, and they're going to change fast, and they're going to be for the better, and they're going to last a really long time. Clarifying that, and I love this for you guys, because I think this probably clarifies all of 2020 for Gemini. 7 of Wands, 7 of Pentacles, 7 of Swords. If you remember in the beginning of the reading, we have the Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, 7 of Pentacles, Ace of Wands, 7 of Wands, Ace of Swords, 7 of Swords. This is where it's all coming full circle for you, Gemini, and this is beautiful energy. This is where the pieces actually literally come together, and I don't think I've ever had this happen in a reading, so like I'm just going to take a moment myself. So let's talk about this. Ace of Swords, 7 of Swords. The good twin, the bad twin, Gemini. The twin that speaks their truth, that expresses themselves, that's able to be vulnerable, doesn't give a shit what other people think. And the 7 of Swords is all about self-sabotage. It's about dishonesty. It's about patterns of sabotaging things we really love, things we really want, things we really desire. It's where we get all caught up in our head in fear. All the what ifs this doesn't work out? You know, what if I move in with somebody and it's a disaster? Well, then you move out. Who cares? Like, it happens to everybody. You can't just sit in your life stagnant because you're afraid that things won't work, right? Or worse, you sabotage things because you're afraid they will work. 12th house transits are known for that. getting you to a level of everything you ever wanted, and then you're like, oh my God, no, it's too good. I gotta ruin this. I gotta ruin this because I can't imagine what it would feel like to be that happy, because that means I would have so much to lose. And there would be so much pressure to maintain. Ace of Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles. I really want to lay down those roots. I really want to plant that seed. I want to do that thing. I want to start that business. I want to start a family. I want to build a house. Seven of Swords is like, wait a second, do I have enough? Am I good enough? Am I worthy enough? Sevens are all about adjustments. It's all about changing your ways. It's all about changing how you look at things, changing how you think about things. And it's a lot about your core values. And it's a lot this month, Six of Cups, is about regaining that innocence of who you are and who you want to be, and allowing yourself to embrace that. Seven of Wands, Ace of Wands. It's time to feel that passion in your life again. It's time to make passion and love a priority. But at the same time, it's about checking the need, the desire altogether. You know, if you're really career driven, you wanted the big house, you wanted the nice car, you wanted, you know, all the nice things. The Seven of Wands is kind of like, it's kind of above the materialism. Seven of Wands knows that you can have all those things. It doesn't mean that you're a better person. It doesn't mean that you're smarter than anybody. It just means you're able to buy stuff. It just means you're able to own stuff. And sometimes you get into those cycles where you feel like you gotta have the things in order to keep up, in order to prove that you're good enough. The Seven of Wands is nobody gives a shit. You shouldn't give a shit. Seven of Wands is like begging you to reconnect with your heart. Maybe your whole life, all you ever wanted to do was like work in a grocery store, and like your adult mind is like, yeah, but I don't want to live on, you know, a small amount of money. I need more money. I need more things. And then you get all those things and you're still like, yeah, but not happy. No matter how many things I get, I'm still kind of not happy. Your overall energy is the Guardian of Swords, which is all about speaking your truth. And you got the Guardian of Swords with the King of Air. You are a major growth here. Major growth point in figuring out and expressing who you truly are. And I feel like there's a lot of forgiveness here. I feel like there's forgiveness in yourself, forgiveness of others, acceptance. This is that new perspective. And you pulled card number 53, Seahorse Spirit, Watch and Wait. Meaning it's really important that you take this time to get a new perspective. You don't need to know all the answers right now. Things are just going to kind of happen for you. Your job this month is to allow it. Your job this month is to take the time to get to know yourself, to have the conversations with the people that you truly love, to connect on a deeper level, to rest, to take time out of your head, to stop needing to know how it's all going to work out, needing to have all the answers. Now is the time to go with the flow. Wait and watch. The answers will come. Because the thing is, Gemini, as you step in, as you put this new cloak on, this new gown, as you do that, your vibe changes, and then you attract different things, and the universe just starts to give you what you desire, because it all the frequencies match. You come into alignment. Your priorities, your values, your desires, they all line up, and then the universe can easily get those things to you. But it's one final push through. It's one final push. You're at the end. It's a pretty cool reading, Gemini. All right. Guys, I will be back mid-November. I can't believe I'm even saying that. For the love readings. I do hope that you guys have a wonderful November. And I will talk to you soon. Lots of love. Bye.